Hi guys, I am Susie, Trackside Susie on ProTouring.com. I wanted to walk you guys through my new Baer brake install, basically for a couple of reasons. One, because I can show you that really just about anybody can do this brake install. Baer has set it up so beautifully. It does not take a lot of tools, and your rotor is already mounted. All of your components are separated out, so you don't even have to dig through a box for a bunch of parts. All of your screws are set up. Your mounting brackets are already on the calipers. Even these gorgeous aluminum hubs come preloaded with grease. There's even a bleeder kit included, which I don't know if you can see that with the sun the way it is. At any rate, this is certainly not a professional video, but I'm going to do my best to show you how easy this is and how warranted it is when we drive these performance cars hard on the autocross and on the road track. Just for reference, that's what you're used to seeing me drive. There's another project in our stable right now. And here's what we're working on today and have been for quite a while. This is my 63 Rambler wagon, an AMC product. This wagon has a 100-inch wheelbase, which it basically equates it to a Miata, which I know you all are going to think is just kind of crazy. It's actually 6 inches shorter than the first Gen Camaro, with a 100-inch wheelbase that we swapped in a first Gen Camaro subframe in the front so that we could actually put some suspension on it, and custom built a triangulated 4-link in the rear. We'll be running 1810 tires, wheels, with probably a 275 tire, something sticky, likely from BFG. All right, okay, I'm gonna get set up and I'll be right back. Okay, so don't time me, but hopefully this won't take very long. I'm going to go ahead and start removing the old brakes, which these were great brakes. No fault to them at all. They're just a 2-piston. They're tear-offs from the 68 that we were going to use until I realized that I could actually get a Baer product on my car. So, you know, I think it's important to point out, I'm going to remove the brake line, which, by the way, as I do this, we're working with a car that was mocked up, so I don't have any fluid in it yet, which is fortunate. But the kit does come with a little rubber cap that you can put right on the line so that you don't spew brake fluid everywhere, which hopefully you guys know enough to know that that's a bad thing. All right, I'm going to tuck that up in there. Now I'm going to remove the caliper. This is a little bit of blind work, but it is certainly not hard. What I started to say before was that when you put all these, put all this horsepower into these cars, it's interesting to me how many people I find that don't really think about their brakes, and then they wind up at, an event where they've got a brake stop challenge or something to that effect, and they literally cannot stop their car, or their car isn't stopping fast enough. So if you're going to put the go in, you're going to have to put the whoa in. It's just how it goes, guys. All right, there goes a rotor. I said rotor, I meant calipers. Now we got to take the rotor off. All right, now we got to take this caliper off so that we can remove the hub. And as I mentioned before, the hubs are just gorgeous pieces of machinery that I think it's probably important to point out, because I'm sure you guys have all read on the forums about brake knockback. That's a big issue if you don't run performance brakes in a performance vehicle. And part of the reason is that you get flex from the moving parts, between the moving parts and the non-moving parts. And when you've got a stronger, more reinforced, this happens to be one as well, aluminum hub, this is part of what helps with brake knockback. Okay, I'm going to take the bracket off. I've got 2 wrenches, one on the front to hold it, to turn it, and one on the back to hold it, as you can see. I'm going to go for the lower one first just to take the stress off that upper mount. Now, because I am, the bolts that come with the Baer system are quite a bit longer. I'm running a performance spindle, performance arm with their bracket, and their kit is set up in order to mount to a stock brake system. So I'm going to use a shorter bolt. That will be the only change that I make from the Baer kit. Okay, even just the way this looks and is milled, you can see it's much more performance minded than the prior bracket that we had. I got 2 bolts. You can see the difference in the length. You can get bolts from anywhere where you would go for your, hardened grade 8 hardware. I think you can even call Baer and they might send them to you. Alright, okay, got that on there good and tight. Now I'm going to unpack these beautiful, beautiful hubs. All your bearing grease is already in there. Line up that tab with the spindle groove, and we're on. Now we go put our castle nut on. Named, obviously, because it looks like the top of a castle. Okay, so normally right now you would put on a cotter pin in here to make sure everything stays put. This is a mock-up for me right now. I've still got to take these off one more time. I've got to do some painting and whatnot. So I'm not putting the cotter pin in, but you should be putting the cotter pin in. All right, we're gonna put these gorgeous rotors on, and you might have to. There's 2 different bolt patterns here, so you might have to guide it around a little bit and get it on. Okay, it's not hard, but all right, here's a little trick for you. So when you're putting the calipers on, the worst thing is when the rotor is wobbling all around, and it's just a battle that you don't need to have. So I'm going to put a lug nut on here and finger tighten it. So now it's nice and firm. So when we put the rotor on, it's not going to be flopping around. All right, here is my pre-mounted mounting bracket. Brake pads on. I'm going to leave everything in there to keep those brake pads from coming loose. Well, when it's not windy. I'm going to slide it over the top and get my bolts lined up with my bracket on the inside. Okay guys, that's it. I want to point out that every bolt that I used was a 3/4 inch, so I really only needed 1 wrench effectively. 2 wrenches, you know, to hold, but one size. And I don't know about you, but it's entirely too convenient for me if I only have to take out 1 wrench. So anyway, here we go. Here's our beautiful setup, and I'm going to move along and put the wheels on and get to work on some other stuff. Thanks for tuning in.